In today's video, we are going to explore the terms irradiation and contamination, and we will understand what exactly makes radiation harmful. Irradiation is the process in which an object becomes exposed to radiation. This radiation can be of any kind, including ionizing types such as alpha particles, beta particles, gamma rays, or X-rays, as well as non-ionizing types like ultraviolet or microwave radiation. So, whenever any type of radiation reaches your body, we say that your body has been irradiated. On the other hand, contamination occurs when radioactive particles settle on or attach to objects. For instance, if radioactive uranium ends up on your arm, then you would be considered contaminated. Contamination by itself is not inherently dangerous. The actual concern arises from the radioactive material decaying over time and potentially irradiating you. It is this increased risk of being irradiated due to contamination that is problematic. Now, let's discuss what determines how harmful radiation actually is. The level of harm caused by radiation depends on several key factors, primarily the type of radiation, the location of exposure, and the dose or amount of radiation received. Radiation types can generally be divided into ionizing and non-ionizing categories. Ionizing radiation tends to be more dangerous because it has the ability to penetrate living cells and interfere with the molecules inside them. This interaction is especially concerning when it affects our DNA, as it can cause mutations. These mutations may occasionally lead to the affected cells dividing uncontrollably, which can result in cancer. Additionally, even though ultraviolet radiation is not always categorized as ionizing, it can still lead to cancer. If we were to rank the various types of radiation from the most harmful to the least harmful, we would place alpha radiation at the top and radio waves at the bottom. However, this order changes depending on whether the radioactive source is outside or inside the body. If the source is external, alpha radiation is not very harmful because it is easily stopped by a short distance of air or by human skin. Beta and gamma radiation, on the other hand, can pass through the skin and reach internal organs, making them more hazardous for external exposure. Conversely, if the radioactive material is on the skin or has been ingested, situations involving contamination, alpha radiation becomes significantly more dangerous because it can then reach and damage internal cells. Another important factor in determining how harmful radiation is involves the dosage you receive. Dosage depends on three main elements: the distance from the radioactive source, the duration of exposure, and most critically, how radioactive the material itself is. To minimize exposure and prevent contamination, several safety precautions should be followed. These include wearing appropriate protective clothing such as gloves and overalls, using tools like tongs to handle radioactive substances instead of using bare hands, and storing radioactive materials in containers lined with lead whenever feasible. One final point that is often misunderstood is that being irradiated does not cause you to turn into a mutant or make you radioactive. Exposure to radiation does not enable you to emit radiation or pass it on to others. The only way someone can become a danger to others is if they are contaminated and are carrying radioactive particles themselves. That concludes everything for this video. We hope you found this explanation helpful and informative, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next one.